Hello, everyone, and welcome to this. Well, it's not quite a double header, but we are down to 2 matches a week in the competitive series 2023. We're going to be starting off with Casterian's Guards versus the Dark Sea Corsairs. With me is Level on MWO Leagues 2.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And we have Deus and Ghosty, who are our experts for this match. So we're gonna sort of the map room is up in case, but we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna talk about what we think is about to happen here.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a pregame for everybody while we wait for these teams to get in lobby and get ready. Here in a moment, we're gonna have Ghosty and Aldeus take it away with possibly one of the first maps played, because in previous weeks it was the last map that anyone picked because no one had play on it. But last week, surprisingly, it was the first or second map picked by every team for every game last week, which will be Polar Highlands. With that said, I will say KSG Euro versus DSC NA. Both of our meta panelists are Euro also. I'm feeling a little. We need more Americans in here.
I mean, look,
are
it's
exactly
50-50
though?
Yeah, the forces are even. Level just doesn't like to fight fair. That's all.
Yeah, when has America fought fair? Also, it'd help if I unmute channel 2.
I will not comment on this.
Fair enough.
It's nice having you guys with us. If you guys want to take it away here in Polar, you guys both know these two teams, both KSG and DSC, pretty. You guys have scrimmed with them and stuff. You guys have practiced over the year, so you guys have some insight into what these teams are good at and what they're not. What do you think might be happening this week for this first elimination match? Also, we almost forgot to say that the losers of today's games go home.
And the winners advance.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. I think what I can say is that these teams have shown in scrims that they're a lot more flexible than what you may have seen in previous matches. So for both of them, I'd say this is very much up in the air, and if one of them prepared to counter exactly what the other team did in previous matches, then they might not exactly find success with that, since there might be changes.
Now, both these teams have been playing a lot of range this Worlds, haven't they?
So KSG has really already even played quite a bunch of different things. So they played against KDCM in their first 2 matches. So first against KDCM 18 and then against KDCM 17. But until on both those matches, they played almost always full receive and range. And then they played against Abens, which we really saw a complete mixed bag. And I would say that if they were hiding strats and defaulting a lot, they would do that against the KDCM teams. And that Abens was them trying their absolute hardest and bringing out their strongest strats. So they've shown that they can push on Hibernal. They've shown that they can cap strat. They can play mining very dynamically. So pretty much the standard toolset that you need as a team in order to be flexible. And I think they've shown that whatever they come up with, they can play it pretty well. What do you think, Audus?
Just real quick, I'm heading us over to the map ban.
Okay.
Both
I
teams are
don't
getting
know
ready.
the DSC team very well, but based on what Castellon for has studied them well tells me about them, it looks like DSC are trying to play trade decks, but based on Castellon's strategy, they always ended by pushing. So Castellon force DSC to push on the long range decks, and it's will be painful for them. As for polars, we can talk about maps right now or not. We have time for that, guys.
Sorry, we're getting the map amp set up for the two teams in lobby. Apologize about that.
Deus, I'm sending you the link for viewing. You can see it as it goes.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's see if we
I'm sorry.
if we see some interesting first picks again. I mean, I would assume that the default first pick would be Vitric, but there might be some. Well, we've seen already last week that some teams chose to pick Hibernal. I think even Polar once.
Polar in the previous weeks was always either 4 or 5, and then last week we saw it in the first 3 picks. It was it was number 1 in one game, I think, second pick in a game, and then third pick in 2.
I think that's a phenomenon that's like due to the fact that teams are getting more flexible now that we're further into the tournament. So it matters little. Like early on in the first elimination round, there can often be a big factor of, oh, this is a map that suits our playstyle, or it's a map that doesn't suit our opponent's playstyle, and then you pick that first so you can get a head-on point on like wins in your best of 5, which is a huge like mental advantage. And I think as you go deeper in the tournament, the teams become better, and that at this level mostly means you become more flexible. So there's not really that much of a difference anymore whether you play mining or whether you play polar. So it becomes less about which maps suit you as a team and more about which maps or which sides you want. So therefore we see maps like Polar or Vitric. And again, we see that Polar was picked first, I think. And
Crimson
Vitric
first
second.
deck. Crimson, Vitric,
yes.
and then Polar. Yep.
Crimson is interesting because it is one of the 2 non-symmetrical maps.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested that one goes first. But as you said, it's about getting that side right, especially on that. So get that one out of the way. Be my guess. There we go. Hibernal fourth, and then mining for the finale. Should we get there?
Mining the list.
Has anyone picked mining like voluntarily yet?
I
think we brought up the notes on it before, but
well, in previous weeks it was one of the first couple of maps always played. With Vitric consistently this Worlds has been, I think, always first 3 maps. One of the first, maybe just a couple outliers, but I don't know. It shocked me with how popular it's gotten amongst teams, even in the comp queue. It was popular and people really played the heck out of it. It was like you most of your matches were either Polar, Hibernal, or Vitric with if you weren't, or sorry, not Polar, but mining. And still mining was at least in the comp queue was probably played half the time. I think DPS alone, 40% of our matches was on mining.
I think especially teams who qualified to comp queue, like a lot of the time in comp queue, you pick 3 maps that you're good at, and then you ban the other 2 every match. Especially for teams that struggle to qualify, so seed 9 through 12. And then when you play in the knockout format, of course you're going to vote those maps first, and those almost always are the usual favorites. I mean, mining, I think, has been in every single world championship.
Yeah.
Since I've been around, at least.
Well, Canyon used to be, but there became so many alternatives to Canyon. But mining, there's still nothing like it.
I think some version of Hibernal or Canyon has also always been in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although, word is that they're gonna tweak mining, so it's soon to be the most hated map in MWO since it's about to change.
I don't know. Well, I don't think it's going to change during this World Championship.
No. Couple months.
It
I
might
think.
right
Yeah.
after December patch. Let's go.
It honestly, the tweaks seem minor enough that I don't see the rumored tweaks in any case seem minor enough that I can't imagine it being a big deal. But we shall see.
So we have Team 2 picked from DSC for Crimson as well.
Yep. So yeah. So DSC gets Team 2 on Crimson and Hibernal so far, and then Team 1 on Polar.
I think it's match time.
No. We need to find out what the teams are on mining first.
Oh, they haven't picked that yet?
Nope.
I thought they already did.
Nope. We're
They're so slow.
I know, they're taking their time on this one. Yeah.
Let's see which one of them gets to pick Team 2 on mining.
Ooh, we're thinking about it real hard.
I think that Casterian is not very ready for mining, as far as I
There
can
we
tell,
go.
since he is not since he is not so good at raid setups.
All right.
So,
Our selection is complete. All right.
All right, KSG does have Team 2 mining.
Casterian Guards needs to
They're
be
blue,
Team
right?
1 right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Swap the sides real quick. Scoot you guys back to map room momentarily.
All right, side swapped.
Yep.
All right, I'll give the countdown timer.
Oh, I got that. I'll take care of that.
All right.
Because
Cool.
I gotta change
Easy
the
mode.
map as well. Crimson, there it is. All right, and their timer starts now. I'm gonna send you guys over to the map room.
Let's talk strats, boys.
Time to leak all of our strats for the upcoming matches.
That's
what do
right.
you think?
Yep. You thought you were gonna get a prediction on KSG. No, we're getting definitive.
Definitive EQ strats.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
So our strat
all
here.
ears.
I'll show you. So we're going out here, and then you're sending a light mech here, and you're getting their back cap like this. This is the special EQ strat.
That is a top tier play. Use the the newly implemented wraparound feature where the maps
So
just wrap.
all you do is you run 5 seconds out, 5 seconds back, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds back, and you
No,
set the out of bounds timer the entire time,
Yep.
and you
Is
take
this water
ECM so you don't
deeper?
get shot.
Right. Yes.
Wait, is this water deeper? Can we start hiding locusts and fleas in it?
If I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
Good answer. Good answer.
All right, but what are we actually expecting to happen here?
Yeah. So we've
Well-
got KSG on which side are they on here? They're Team 1,
Team
so
1.
they're on the EPSI side.
Involuntarily.
Yes. This is
So that's the more interesting part is why might DSC, since on this map sides actually do matter, why might DSC pick Team 2 on this map? And
Yeah.
to me that
Usually
means
pushy teams will want it, right?
they're either sending it, sorry, that's a shit. They're either sending it something like this, or they're sending a lot of mechs over the saddle to Theta. Because really, Team 1 gets to see how many you send, so if you send like 1 or 2, they can fight you there. But if you just send like 6 or 7, what are they gonna do? Who cares if they know that you've sent 6 or 7 mechs there?
well, theoretically, then they sneak around to Sigma, right? And then you got 3 against you if they're quick enough on the draw.
Well, Sigma is relatively easy to retake, unless they've also taken Island, in which case, from Team 1, Island is semi-hard to hold. So, and I'd say if you move up to Island with your traders here, as Team 1, you can lose Gamma. Since
That
you
is
don't have
true.
Overwatch over it anymore. So I do think there's counters to pushing 7 mechs to Theta, but also I think those those are the two main options. I would prefer to be Team 2-1. Since for pushing, it's a lot better over Island.
Now,
That makes sense to me.
DSC in previous matches they had Royal Star, last guy alive, doing cap stuff. I'm assuming they'll send him to Theta for sure.
So
I don't think I've ever seen DSC do like stacking a whole bunch of mechs this way. I think if we've seen them do a few, like 2 to 3, but I don't think we've ever seen more than that from them at least.
what you do if you have a player like that, because they're cruelly invincible, you send them in first, and you hope that the enemy team shoots them, so that you don't actually take damage and they're invincible, they won't die.
All right, Team 1 has locked 4 in Charlie, 1 Bravo, 3 Alpha.
And as much as that sounds like a joke, it's not really a joke. Even if you have someone who you know will instinctively play for their own survival and do their best not to die, you actually want to send them in first, because somehow they most often find a way to survive. And then you have, if they shoot them to 1 touch and then they run away to cap, then they've wasted a bunch of damage.
Now with 4 in Charlie, that suggests 4 going this way, doesn't it? Maybe 1 breaking off for the gamma cap.
4 in Charlie. Charlie could mean a lot of things. You want to be Charlie if you want to go anywhere. I'd say here. You'd want to be Charlie for anywhere in that area, so...
Okay, so if you're going to go to this half of the map...
I mean, realistically, it probably just indicates that's where their wolf pack is going to be, because we've got the 3 traders in Alpha that are going to, go over EPSI, see what's going on, and maybe take Island. And then, that is an accurate circle for where they're going to go, right?
So, JB is usually a light mech. Makar, I think, has been their Shadowcat main this season. Dared is a light pilot. So yeah, that does look like there's light pack going Theta. I would agree.
DSC moving everyone to Alpha Charlie. Interesting. Charlie is probably their Kappa Lance, probably heading towards Theta and stuff. That's probably the Wolfpack. With Royal there, that's definitely the Wolfpack and Fire Hand.
Well, can I say, objectively, Castellon has 2 strategies. So one has always his practice is a direct push across the island. What they see has a rather strong long. The second one is options is to go all-in to the Theta, and they have a good chances here because they have a good light pilots, as Kosti said already. So I believe it could be a full push from the Castellon to Theta to force DSC to push the island on the long-range setups, as I said before, because we play with the Castellon on the screens, and they master exactly this strategy. Actually, it's a little inside, but from the another drop from the team 2, so they send the light pack like this, and send only 5 heavy mechs to the island. I believe it's only Marauder. So I think it could be something like that, but from another drop. I don't think that Castellon want to just play a defensively game with only 5 lights on the Theta.
All right.
Gotcha.
Both teams ready?
Blocked.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and launch. I've begun streaming into the Discord since I realized we forgot to do that.
All right.
And we are off. Yeah, I still got to figure out what's going on with the crunch in that stinger. I realized that last week as I was watching. And it really does sound like a blue screen. So sorry, everybody. We'll get that fixed eventually.
Leave it as Easter egg for how many times the MWO comp streams have crashed over the years.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. Let's see. Where's the sun here? Oh, up there. That is kind of a weird place to put it. It's so dull, and there's not really any clouds in front of it.
You know, wait, is that the sun over there?
I think so.
It got duller as I flew up to it.
Weird. Anyway,
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing.
teams are here. I am over here with there we go. With Castarion's Guard. Looks like we've got ourselves Viper, Flea, Black Lantern, and Shadowcat. Gonna check some of those builds there. SRMs on the Lantern. 5 ER mediums, 8 light machine guns on Red's Viper there. Meanwhile, we've got ourselves Hag 40 and ER large Mad Cat and Hag 60 ER large Marauder. And I'm missing one. Where are you? Here we go. Battlemaster 6 ER large. That's the other one. And they are chilling out at FC. All right, what do we got for Darksea Corsairs?
All right, they have, of course, a knife fighting lantern, all the micros and small pulses. Fire Ants rocking a micro pulse Viper with heavy machine guns. We got House in a Spider, dual medium X pulse. Zelk, ERP Crusader, small lasers for backup. Serp Epic already taking some pot shots with 6 ER large Stalker. Royal rocking a Flea with a bunch of small pulse. And Ivazovsky, I think I butchered that. He's running ER larges and Goss on his Mad Cat, standard Mad Cat 1. And then they also have the Blood Ass Rancor, which is, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 ER larges and then a handful of micro pulse.
Yeah, so Ivazovsky and who's in the other one? Hollow. Are trading against old Hasu here, who's down 9%, Hollow down 7%. So honestly, pretty good trading from Hasu here. But we are about to get a little bit of fight. We probably had a little bit of a skirmish over here on Theta, but it's sort of 3-on-2 looking here with DSC's mechs on Theta right now. Royal Star and House hanging out with some Overwatch. Tried this
last week against Abins. He missed this jump multiple times. But I see why he made the jump. He was able to almost stop that Theta cap by shooting down into it.
And effectively he did. So JB and Jinto here pushing Fire Ant and Royal Star back with the Red getting in on this. It is ultimately going to be 3-on-4 more or less, but Royal Star goes down.
Oh,
that's a big one.
He's taking the fight. He's chasing the Lantern, but he's also getting chased himself by the Flea here by JB.
Yep. And Mokor having this Overwatch is incredible right here for DSC's light pack. I'm sorry, that's KSG's light pack against DSC. I gotta figure that one out.
Is about to get picked.
Yeah, there goes Fire.
Both his legs dropped at the same time.
Yeah, Castarian going after House. I think House escapes in the fire, but I think they turn on the Indian in the Lantern. Yeah, here we go. This is gonna be a 3-on-1. Yeah. Trades meanwhile, Corsairs taking the island against the traders. Hollow down here at 84%, not doing so great as they position
Indian
themselves
legs,
to cover and try to take out some of these KSG lights, but they're just not going to be able to do it. And
KSG wiped out basically all of DSC's Wolfpack for free. All these mechs are still relatively fresh.
Oh yeah, 70%, and absolutely, yeah. I don't think. Let's just do a quick checkup on that. A little toasty in the torsos for JB and an open leg for Red, but otherwise they're just fine. Now that Spider can still be super useful with that cap acceleration there, but I don't know that it's going to be much of a use in the fight against that entire Wolfpack that now basically has reign of that Kappa era.
Lost one of his arms. That took a Gauss rifle. He still has all his lasers though, and his side torso. The Hollow in his Rancor, he has just been eating damage. Both his side torsos are orange in the back.
And KSG closing, KSG closing here. Now that they have basically the whole map except for the island, we have Enova and Hasu starting to close on the island. They're probably going to take that high ground here, and we're going to get a wicked crossfire. And just a few seconds here. Although Hollow and Zelkanizovsky are taking up some cover against that push, but with that mobility, it's going to become a problem really fast here. Poner just trying to pick away at the lights. Not a whole lot of shots though.
House just tried to kite. He took some pot shots into these lights over here. It looked like he was trying to kite them to follow him. They started to take the bait, but KSG, smarter than that, they decided to hold. They're waiting for their bigs to get in position, and then I expect to watch both halves of this team crush the guys on the island.
Yeah, no, Hasu getting a couple of shots in, or rather getting a couple shots against from Poner and one of the heavies over there. I almost want to think it was Zelk, but here comes the light pack here. They pick off Poner, and Ivazovsky probably next, although it could also be House. House running a little slow, probably legged in the water there. Take an incredible amount of fire for his
Hollow is
fighter.
about to get back shot, and Nova's sneaking up behind him. Oh, he got that shot.
Yeah, there it goes. House finally goes down. The spider, there goes Hollow. It's Ivazovsky and Zelk. Zelk's still pretty fresh, but a one on 7 ain't gonna do it. No. As JB gets in here, Enova keeps smacking in, and this Mokor here. I'm interested to see Mokor's damage here. Having the Overwatch against the light fight around the back, and then just being able to keep firing across onto the island. I bet you Mokor pulls
MVP
a good
on
amount
this
here.
drop for sure. Getting that shadow count up in that position and bullying the fight down below.
Yeah. Let's take a look
DSC
here.
should not have took that fight. They should have just ran for their lives and maybe lost the mech, and they would have got out really injured, but they would have still had all their mechs to be able to still do something.
Yeah, looking at Mokor, 392, not as much as I thought he would have, honestly, but that's still not a bad showing. That's fine. It's enough. It was enough with that Overwatch to do some work. All right, I'm gonna send this over to the scoreboard real quick. It's updating today, which it looks like it is, so we can take a look at some of those. The team damage winner today is Gwentler with 14 team damage. Yeah. Heading on over to the map. We'll pass it over.
Royal got slaughtered there. 7 damage. He didn't even get a full alpha off before he got the yeet. Big yeet in the sky.
All right. I'll set these guys up if you guys want to debrief. I'm over in the map room at the moment.
I mean, there's like 2 things I have really quickly. Is that the end brawl didn't matter at all. If House died there, that's it. That's the match. It's 4 caps to 1 with 4 assaults or 4 bigs left. There's a Bloodlust, a Stalker, a Crusader, and a Mad Cat. There's just nothing you can do on this map if you're 4 capped and you have no lights. So as soon as House even got legged, it was over. And then also I think I saw the Stalker have 1006 range, so that would be a TC8 Stalker with barely any heat sinks. So I think that's another point where they lost out on caps early, and then they had to push up because they had to get aggressive, and they just didn't have the builds for it.
It seems that Castellan decided to use a strategy of passing a lot of light on the Theta, as I said. And moreover, he even sent on heavy over the saddle to close the enemy lights on the saddle. Okay, to close enemy lights on the saddle. This is very similar to our strategy, which we also tried against him with the Goosey. However, he found a good point for the light, for the Shadow Cat, from which they can shoot the point tattoo, from a distance even before the enemy has go to attack. This is the influence of his new talented palettes, I think, and it looks like Crimson finally turned it into a map about big light bands.
I may or may not know where that spot came from.
Did you see?
I science it out for this year.
Either way, I saw Mokor last week against Abin's try it, right? He failed his jump twice trying to get up there. Ate almost 2 minutes off him being able to do other stuff. It was nice seeing him be able to get up there. He must have been practicing that jump because but yeah, he got up there and he immediately had he was able to apply pressure and control over that entire section of the map. And even though he only had 2 lights down here to start with, that third light by Gamma quickly reinforced this fight, and then DSC just unfortunately got slaughtered.
You see, so they lost their flea for free. I'm just rewatching this on the stream right now. So they lost their flea for free, and then they decided, okay, so we just lost a mech. Let's go in and lose 2 more. And instead of just bailing and trying to save, like, cut their losses, they tried to take the fight in like a 2v5, and they lost 2 more mechs for it, which sucks. But again, like, them only sending 3 to Theta early or 2, it just, I don't know why they picked Team 2. If you're only gonna send 2 or 3, you'd want to pick Team 1 so that because it's a lot more safe to send only 2, since you have complete scouting of how many mechs KSG would be sending. Whereas if you pick Team 2, this is exactly what can happen to you, is KSG can send a lot of mechs, and if you only send 2, they know that you've only sent 2, they can come and gank you.
Yeah, that basically sums up exactly what happened. They saw they only had 2, and they got ganked for it. By the time DSC got any reinforcements to the fight was already lost. Like, as you said, the flea unfortunately died for free. Firehand and his Viper at the same time decided to take that fight and chase the laner deeper into enemy territory. And that's when we saw the rest of the team come in and try to help, and did not.
Which was a good move. If that's a 3v3, what Firehand did was great. But since it wasn't a fair fight, what it meant is that they committed to a fight that, as a light pack, it's a fight they couldn't take. If he hadn't done that, they had to just run, and then if it was a 3v3, they could have maybe lost out on being able to win a fight there. So I think I get why. It didn't work out since they were outnumbered so heavily.
I will say, even looking, I know we spent a lot of focus on the light fight because it was so important to the fight. When I went back to look at the traders, seeing how damaged they were, the traders alone were getting devastated by KSG's traders over here. Then Hollow there at the end, or not Hollow, sorry, Innova? Yeah, Innova came around this back corner and then basically yeeted both the assaults in the back right here. Which, from a spectator point of view, is fun to watch, but as a pilot, that hurts. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, anything after the lights die and like KSG's lights get back into the fight, is relatively inconsequential into like judging how well DSC traded against them, because it's a 7v5 at that point, and DSC are going to bleed more, even if they play equally as well. But I think looking at this, their percentages were a bit down. I think especially the Bloodhouse wasn't doing too well. There was more focus fire on KSG's side for sure.
That being said, let's take a quick look at Vitric, everybody's favorite map to draw on, since Team 2's working out their life.
It's not my fault that half of the maps, half of the things I drew on this map happen to look like phallic.
Very phallic shaped, yeah.
It's not fair that when mechs go up this way, and mechs go up this way, and then Ghosty puts a mech up here too. You know what I mean?
Let's not put that there. So I don't know. I actually am not sure what to expect from these teams. You can hold back.
I know. I can figure out some things. Well, the Casterians have greatly evolved their map control strategy lately, and now practice independent actions with their light group and the use of poke mech on the flanks, rather than building a rigid defense. For example, in Victory, they now use a Kappa grab to provoke the enemy to make mistakes, while holding the center and to use up their strength. In addition, they use non-standard spots. So, for example, For example, we have to we have a screen with the Castellans where they send their mislinks on top of this arc, and poke or heavy group in there. And despite the fact that we have advantage on points, we lose a lot of armor on that, and on the fact that there are three lights and medium max poke us from these corners. So I think that Castellan right now are mastering exactly this strategy, and also they use Kappa Cap. Or,
I will have to interrupt you there. Both teams are
No.
ready, so we're gonna be getting to the
Okay.
drop here in a
Okay.
second.
I'm
No,
sorry.
sorry about that, buddy.
That's all good.
I'm sorry.
But yes, KSG last week against Abins, they tried to fight from the chicken's foot too. Didn't go as well for them, but hopefully it goes better for them this time if they.
I will
play
say,
from there.
moving up that far to the ramps is dangerous. But I think that's what I'm gonna keep it at, since I've scrimmed, I think, both teams on this map, so I don't want to spoil everything.
Excuse me.
Let's see, what is the view du jour for this map as we wait for these folks to come on? We've already looked at the sun. There's the chicken's foot that Level likes to talk about. See, it's kind of like a little chicken's foot. But the teams are here. I am hanging out with KSG. Let's see, we've got Dered in that Viper again, JB in the Mistlinks for this one, Jinto in the Crusader with Binaries, the Binary Crusader making an appearance here. Get out of the way, dropship. The Marauder with Hags and ER Large again. Castellan with a quick draw. Excuse me. What are we doing with a quick draw? 4 large lasers. Grasshopper with
Sneaky
Binaries.
things.
Yeah, and
there's a
Bad
quick draw,
Cat with
sneaky
Gauss and
things.
ER Large. Yeah. What do we got over on Dark Sea side?
On Dark Sea, we got a fairly standard deck. Mistlinks, ED. Oh, here, let me go to cockpits. Mistlinks, we got Esther and Mistlinks. Dual Hag 20 Summoner. It's like the modern update of the Dual UAC 10 one. Light Peep Shadowhawk, Light Peeps and SRM6s. Heavy Peep Crusader.
Oh, we're about to have a top fight. Ivazovsky and that Summoner taking a shot at JB. Kicking him off down to 85%. How bad did that hurt? Let's see. Didn't break any armor, but ooh, that was a rough shot on JB by Ivazovsky there, sneaking up top with the Summoner. Usually this is the space for light mechs like the Mistlinks. Ivazovsky says, hey, me too.
So far, this is playing out exactly as predicted. Team 1 has taken center. Team 2 has taken chicken foot side.
Yep. Ivazovsky using that spot to trade against E-Nova, who says, no, thank you. I'm going to go join my team on the right side, their right side, the chicken foot side of the map, as it sort of splits north-south here.
Ooh,
with
JB's
KSG taking Kappa.
Wait. Oh, yep. Oh, JB took a huge alpha. Down to 80%. What on him's hurt? Ooh, side torso's red.
Yeah, JB been hanging out in Hurt Town, just running afoul of all the hidden mechs for DSC. Castellan down to 83% in this quick draw here. Just spread all over, but you can see the armor bleed happening over here on Castellan's side. It's happened a bit on Dark Sea Corsairs as well, but I think they still have a bit of an armor advantage going into this. So we'll see who decides to make some moves. We've got
House is doing a pretty good job with he was trying to deny the cap here. He didn't manage to do that, but he has severely injured Mokor and JB.
Yeah,
backup
and
over here for him, but he's doing a decent job on his own, at least shaving these two down.
yeah, a lot of cap changes just happened there. Darksea comes out on top with 3 points. They're going to use that to make up a few ticks here. Enova tucking into this corner here as Primo's Fire Ant.
There? These two could pick Enova. There's no one to guard.
No, I don't think they can because they've got Hazu covering. But Hazu right here trading with Ivazovsky in that summoner. Again, just applying pressure everywhere. Ivazovsky making an early bid for MVP of this particular drop. Pushing back Hazu here.
Out of the fight. And Nova's just huddled in a corner. That's a mech not fighting.
It's true. It's true. Could be trading over here against Ivazovsky. So a bit of missed opportunity, but Unova comes out of the hole and is starting to trade against Poner, Hollow, and Indian. Who did I miss there? And Royal Star, who are in the center here. Royal Star
House
moving up for another cap.
Flip this cap back. He was guarding. Mokor tried to.
Mokor and JB about to exact some revenge here. And Royal Star getting in on this fight is a 2v2 light fight with some Overwatch on Royal Star pushing him back.
But they have to pick House before.
Yeah, House is. House is done.
House is down.
Mokor's close though.
Pick Royal?
Royal, I think Royal might be able to pick Mokor if he's quick about it. But there it is.
Yeah, there it goes.
With that light PPC shot. Yep, absolutely. So that is.
Yeah, JB's just getting out of there. He's not going to take that fight. That's pretty smart.
Yep.
Fresh Shadowcat.
Yeah, and Royal pulls back here. Epic Poner in the Islander in the Keeper underneath. What was on that Keeper? Is that just a standard Brawlish Keeper? Where are you, Poner? Let's see here. Yeah, SRMs and Hags, actually. So not really a Brawl, somewhere in between. That's a nice Keeper build. I like that. So keeping that Highlander under wraps here as KSG just tries to use the high ground here to just keep trading. It's an interesting trade map or match on a short map. No one has gotten it together enough to push, so I don't really know how to look or where to look here. We've got trading lines everywhere. I'm going to check up on old Hasu here. Seems to have pushed Ivazovsky off a bit here. Where's Ivazovsky? Still at 83% though, so that screams of choice. Ivazovsky had better things to shoot. Enova here in the Marauder, gonna go after Primoz and Ivazovsky though. Hang on, here comes the peak. Nope, just kidding. He's gonna look towards the center. And Primoz and Ivazovsky continue to rule Sigma here. Here we go. JB, Jinto, and Dered starting to push in on Ivazovsky. Enough of your Hags and that Summoner. Get out of here. But I think they're going to maybe end up doing some damage to Primoz here as Darksea Corsairs gets in some of that Overwatch. So I'm going to take a quick look at some of the armor percentages here. Casterian's looking a little rough for wear, but it is a close game. Both teams down a Shadowcat as we got ourselves a little Wolfpack fight going on here. It is 4-on-3. Ivazovsky pulling back in that Summoner at 54%. Let's see where that damage is. I bet you it's spread all over. Nope. Very open legs for Ivazovsky. He's ready to go. Can't take too many more jumps or he'll leg himself, in fact. And Casterian, where are you, Casterian? Casterian, the quick draw, down to 47%, taking some shots from Epic Poner down to a one-touch leg. We're looking at KSG here, coming down to legs. They don't have much to work with. Gwentler here, also one touch to one of his legs. Casterian finally goes down. Hollow gets that shot as Casterian's guards maybe considers flipping Theta here. We are in the 500s for caps, but it is still very close where that's not going to be quite the decider here as Casterian guards gets aggressive. Ivazovsky goes down. Enova next on the chopping block here for the Darksea Corsairs to take out. Hollow coming after JB as does everybody else, and Darksea Corsairs clears out Theta. No, wait, I think there's someone else in here. Grasshopper Primoz in that mislinks goes down. Where was Primoz? Somewhere. But it goes down. We've got Epic Poner catching some binary lasers, one-touch CT, switching it up from the legs as things just start to go down. Jinto takes out Epic Poner, making this a 4-on-4 fight. Jinto goes down. It's 4-on-3, but we've got two really roughed up mechs with Royal Star and Indian. But Fire Ant goes after Dered there. Let's scoot on over back here to Gwentler and Old Hasu holding down the fort, but trying to deal with Hollow. Hollow takes a big hit. What the heck happened there? That's a leg down, but Royal Star gets Gwentler. It's Old Hasu left at 40% against, four pretty beat up mechs, but Old Hasu is one touch and missing half a mech. Gauss and ER Large might be able to take two if he's lucky. It's optimistic as Royal Star comes in with those light PPCs yet again and just smacks him down.
I feel like I just missed a good match.
Oh no, did you have to step away?
I DC'd.
Oh, we'll get you back in here. All right,
That's
I want to see
unfortunate.
Royal Star's Indian with 741 damage, Hollow and the Stalker with 870. Where is Royal Star? Here we go with 3 of the kills as well. Doing great work in that Battlehawk. All right, let's get some score look here, some details. Game very, very close. Very, very close. Fire Ant there in the Viper, very fresh though. Would have been able to clear off whatever we're looking at. But honestly, pretty interesting spread all around. Nice close match. Ultimately going to DSC, making this a 1-1 match.
Exciting.
Heck yeah. All right, sending you guys over to the map room on this as I got the team set up for the next match, which will be on Polar Highlands. What do we think? Cap strat or push strats?
On Polar?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been seeing the cap strats working pretty well. Send one person, just literally run a circle around the map, take every cap after the enemy's moved on to the next one. I think every comp match on this map has had at least one team doing that.
Oh, here's another question, because I've seen this more than once. Does one of the teams completely ignore the spider or commando that's capping right behind their gamma trader?
I wouldn't expect it from teams this deep in the tournament.
Fair enough. It's happened twice, which is a strange amount of times for it to happen here.
So guys, we will not discuss the previous game, right?
Oh, we can. Yeah,
we can.
Because, well, I have to say that Castellan shows a very strong game using the advantage of Edge pilot, but on some maps where decisive action are required, for example in mining, where the opposite teams use a fake push or something like that, like Clan Crossfire in their match against MWO, Castellan has problems since they cannot quickly regroup the forces because each of their pilots is playing their own game. We could see this in our training session with him through that season, and it seems that none of the DSC have demonstrated a counter strategy to the action of the Castellans and put pressure on Epsilon, forcing the Castellan to disperse its force even more. And fourth, I don't not approve of the use of mechs such as Keeper in the center, which have a very limited use on this map. It must be admitted that he fulfilled his task of holding the point and diversing enemy fire. In addition, I have some questions about the use of this Mad Cat with the Castellan, because he was often take out of the battle as well. As a result, everything was decided in the center, and perhaps Castellan's slight disregard for the flexibility of our opponent's strategy played a cruel joke of him, because the DSC actually decide to push, but not on the long setups. That's all.
I'm not sure if I'd agree on the part that KSG lost because they weren't flexible enough. I think they actually showed some pretty good decisiveness, like taking Kappa.
No, they have a very flexible strategy, but in these configurations of battle, it's I think that they lack of focus fire right now. because they just have some mech that been too far from the main forces in the center in the last fight.
From what I've seen, like both of these teams brought relatively similar decks with like mobile-ish light mechs, and then trying to just pressure trades, but also keep mobile enough that they can outrun a push deck and not be caught on the ramps, and also get aggressive enough to get data. And from what I saw, and this is probably the hardest thing you can lose to, because it's really hard to improve. It just looked like every single KSG pilot was losing their 1v1 trades against DSC pilots. Now,
Right.
some of those things are like the Mistings getting caught on Kappa and getting free alpha'd, but overall, it's just, I would say, a skill issue.
All right, and let's leave it there. Let's speed run Polar here. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Since the teams can't hear this, KSG pushes, DSC tries to take Pride Rock out, so Gamma Rock control.
Yes, Pride Rock.
All right. All right. I will. With that, let's go ahead and launch this up.
Yeah. Let me make sure I don't leave the map room overlay.
Ooh, yep. Don't do that. That's a real me move there.
Oh yeah, you did that last week, didn't you?
No, I did not do that last week. I've been good.
Last week I was with Derek's. The week before, I think. Did it at some point. I remember.
It was during the regular seasons. I haven't completely messed up it yet.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
No, that one's true. See, my problem now is swapping sides. the old, designate left and right. But don't worry, Nyan. I've been good this time. We are accurate as of right now.
Now I will say, I took a peek at the leaks chat. Apparently, there's a cult following Jay's cat now. Just super weird. Honey, the cult of honey.
Apparently, the predictions are good. That being said, I'm over here with Casterians. We've got Mokor in the Shadow Cat, Dered in a Wolfhound. All right, what are we doing on that? 6 med pulse. Wow, that's old meta right there. Let's see what's on the Lanner. We've got our SRMs on the Lanner. We've got a Charger. Yeah, this is a 4 large pulse. This is going to be a mostly push, sort of a slow push, I think, once they get into it. What do we got over there on DSC?
We got quad large X pulse Charger. Large pulse, and a bunch of, a grab bag of lasers for the Executioner. Lanner, Knife Fighter, like always. Firestarter, 2 light peeps, the rest small lasers, 6 small lasers. Viper, heavy machine gun, micro, just like the other ones. Crusader, ER peeps and ER lasers. Warhammer, Maul is hack 20s and large pulse.
I'm going to jump in here. We've got House in the Cap mech going for Kappa. I almost said Karma for some reason. That's weird. Still works. We got a Theta fight. That's right. We got Lanner versus a Viper here. I think Viper escapes, but Indians got some punch with those micros and small. House getting away with only 2% damage, maybe. Yep. As Theta is barely flipped for KSG. We'll see how this works out. Casterian's taking Theta, Gamma, and Sigma and retreating over to Gamma, it looks like. Looking to consolidate for their push and to find out where things are looking.
ASG is doing something similar to that they did last week. They have a bunch of their mechs balled up inside one of the passes, but they're just balled up in a different pass this time.
Yeah, and we've got Darksea Corsairs taking some top, looking for what we're looking for. So the question is House going to move on to Sigma, or is he going to join the fight? Is this going to be a hold and fight cap strat, or are they gonna go for the push? Both teams seeing each other now. Looks like House maybe considering Theta. We'll track this this path in here.
DSC wants and needs Sigma.
I would agree with that. But Casterian guards now with a target is starting their push. They're moving in on Theta.
Ooh, Casterian
And Darkseid Corsairs is taking the gauntlet. Here we go. Now Darkseid Corsairs taking the high ground.
Pushing, then they all backed up.
Yep.
Casterian himself caught out.
Oh
alone.
no,
He is going to
Casterian.
get picked
That
for
is
sure.
absolutely.
He is surrounded. He is trying to survive.
He is armless.
No surviving this one. Holy shit! Is he going to get away? Oh no, he got stuck in a wall.
Casterian, you can't go roughhousing with the entire team. All right. Now
no.
Enova in the Charger is next up here. Now you see Darkseid Corsairs taking this high ground. Casterians trying to stay hidden in these chasms are now trapped as they are getting absolutely surrounded.
No, they're
That's
surrounded.
Right. Don't try
They
it.
have the low ground.
Old Hasu here, open in the shoulder with that Thunderbolt, now halved and only 3 medium lasers left. Gwentler going down in the Exi. This is just a slaughter from Darkseid Corsairs, just cleaning up, taking that high ground and using it to push. We'll deal with the caps later. Now, having said, Mokor escaping for caps, it looks like. Dered and JB also trying to scatter. JB getting legged there.
Oh, JB's going down. Red and the Wolfhound. He's looking pretty eaten up.
Yeah, how bad is it? That could be pretty spread.
His legs are
doing
fine,
okay. Yeah.
But his CT is
Mokor,
really
Mokor trying to provide some overwatch, but ultimately escaping. And then we've got there goes Dered. House takes down Dered, and Jinto over here in the Lanner moving towards Kappa at this point, as they're going to try to take their 100 or so point lead and hold on to that. However, Mokor getting caught by Royal Star and House. This is a 2v1. Super problematic. Let's take a look at Mokor's skeleton as we go. A little bit of back shot, otherwise okay. That leg is looking a little weak though, as House and Royal Star continue to hound him on the way to Sigma.
Once that fight went so south, I know probably running for caps is probably the only move that only potentially viable move, but I don't know if they had enough caps to pull off the,
Mokor got House down. Pulled both legs off of House. Mokor legged, but
I'm sitting here
able
trying
to hold on.
Mokor a eulogy, and he goes and kills one of the
guys. That's right. And what Royal Star just kind of like hanging out.
He is not out for the count yet.
Oh, is Royal legged and still showing green? Oh, Royal is legged. All right, Mokor gets away with it. Mostly. He's got to run into Indian and Zelk here, but
Hollow might be able to pick up. Is he legged himself?
Maybe. Yes, Hollow is legged. Indian is legged. Zelk is legged.
Too.
This is the somebody call South Park. They have an episode about this. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna
the Lake Lantern, the Lake Crusader are right here at this cap.
Yeah.
Mokor doesn't stand a chance, unfortunately.
I'm gonna go see what's happening over at Kappa here. Something's about to happen.
Is all of DSC legged?
Oh my god, I think you're right. I think Poner is legged too.
They're all legged. Dude, they can still pull out a cap victory.
Oh my god, Jinto at 67% running from the large X.
Oh no.
Yep. Oh, Jinto's both legs are open. He's catching these large X pulse.
Oh, he needs to take a safer route. He cannot get himself shot again.
No, DSC almost going to be up 4 though. There's just too many mechs. Like, even though it's going to take them a minute to get to it, they're going to have all those covered. Mokor finally goes down, and we're here for the Jinto chase.
I eat all my words I said 2 minutes ago. If those mechs got away without being legged, they could have pulled this off. I didn't realize all of DSC was basically legged.
No,
I didn't realize that.
Jinto's get these large X pulse. The range on them is really holding Jinto at bay here. And he's able to uncap FC here, but does not decide to cap it. He got a couple seconds, but this map is big enough. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. There's just too many Darkseid Corsair mechs that are out there. We've got all of the UAVs over Theta. Let me go see who's on Theta, because I can't see on the mini map. We got Fire Ant on Theta, Ivazovsky going towards Gamma. And here goes Jinto and Poner. Are we gonna get it? No, Jinto gets legs, and there it is. That's the final Dark Sea Corsair is going to take this one 7-0 on their kills. I'm sorry, 7-1. I can count, I promise.
Wow, all the legs being mech'd?
You
It's
mean
8-1,
Vex being legged?
by the way.
8-1. You know,
It's been a
again,
long
that counting.
morning. I've had a very unruly child.
Don't worry,
Yes.
I'm also really tired. I get it.
This is the exhaustion cast, everybody. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
I've been on the road since 6 a.m. So, taking a look at some of the scores, we've got House in the Incubus with almost 700 damage. That is well done. KSG topping off at 470 with Mokor, Shadowcat. Everybody else 330 or below. A couple of double Ds though with Jinto and Enova. Just a lot of damage being put out by DSC, and it's just not being answered by KSG, as we saw there. Some really good focus fire. Bring those mechs down.
Mokor eating house. He turned around, yelled, "That's my purse. I don't know you," and kicked him really hard.
He did do
I want to
that.
quickly point out Casterian, even though we got ganked by like 5 mechs, still did 108, which
Yep.
is quite notable in that situation.
Absolutely.
I guess that's true. When you go from firing your first shot to being dead in like about 15 seconds, pulling out 108 damage in 15 seconds is pretty substantial.
What I was wanted to say is that the players will end up with the quick push from the DSC because they can't play map control as well due to the Casterian's pretty good light setup, and that will be bad for them since Casterian is usually very good at accepting pushes with his main forces. But now it looks like he's chose the wrong deck, and DSC changed their strategy, and instead of trying to control the map and poke on the pop tarts, they now simply rushing the enemy. And speaking immediately about the next map, it's Hibernal, right?
Yes, that is correct.
The strategy with the zoning the enemy is very strong, and as far as I can judge, Casterian will not really understand what to do in this this So here I give the advantage to the DC if they decide to receive, because based on the screens with Casterians, they try to play the counter push. But it seems to me that he is losing in the open close fight with the enemy. So it's must be a last one match because it's really a thin point for the Casterians right now. I mean, Hibernal and Mining.
Yeah, I think I have 2 more things to say about Polar. Is that KSG took a fight with their assault mechs in the canyons against DSC's light mechs, and that's not an environment where you can win, because DSC's light mechs get to pick what engagement they take in those canyons, and you don't. So you end up with things like Casterian getting caught out. And because KSG not having their light mechs in there really hurt them. And then even though they had 3 non-legged light mechs alive, even if every DSC mech was legged, then they wouldn't have won on caps, because with DSC's assaults having large pulse, I think Hags on the Warhammer Maul, large X pulse on the Crusader, there's just no way you don't get legged running between caps, and you can't hold a 3 cap with just 3 mechs without trying to circle. And on the other note, I think there was a mech lab failure there as well. Bringing normal pulse lasers instead of X pulse for a push is just, at least from our testing, objectively worse.
And 10 minutes before this match, we tried almost the same setup, but in that configuration, our lights tried to catch his lights, and the Sid just made an all-in on the Casterian. I mean, literally, they just ran to the Casterian and killed them. I'm sorry. Now I feel I am sounds really cringy.
No, you're good. I'm just
got a
I'm
little
watching this
interesting.
countdown clock to make sure that I give them the proper 2-minute warning, and also checking up on chat. Deus and Ghosty, thoughts on the ultimate strategy of click red box? It seems like a good strategy to me, but you're the experts.
The ultimate strategy of click red box. It's decent. It's actually really good strategy. It's something that you should be doing in every single match. Well, unless you're cap stratting, but at this level, it's just not enough. You can have 8 top tier people, all with just shooting people with all CT. It won't be enough because KSG were shooting every time they saw someone. Just if you don't have a strategy and you get caught out in a 1v4, you can click red box as much as you want and you still die. So at a lower skill level, click red box is a very viable strat, but at this level it's just not doable.
I take offense to that.
Gotcha. So click blue box is a superior strategy.
It is indeed a much.
Hey, hold on. While we talk about click blue box, I'm gonna Ivor and like everyone else in DPS, they just team killed me all season.
I did not. That was everybody else. But in any case,
I'm
we're
pretty
good.
sure you joined the reindeer games at least once.
I think at this point, the amount of times I've gotten team killed in scrims is at least double digits in this CS alone. So for anyone who doesn't know, in scrims, because it's not an official match, and like if you lose because you team killed someone after you killed every opponent, like sure, that just happens and you don't really care too much. So in scrims, often after you technically win the match before you grab the caps, everything's a go. So there's a lot of people who will like team kill or do a lot of team damage after the match is essentially over.
I mean, everyone does that. I'm talking about like Cop Q. We just killed the whole enemy team's dead. We just got to finish securing the caps. Or most of the enemy team's dead. Not even all of them. And then one of my guys will shoot me in the ass.
Well, we're gonna launch, and
me.
hopefully these guys don't do any team kills. But if we will, if they do, we're gonna watch the War Crimes live. Let's go on Hibernal match 4. Could be the final in the series here, or we could go to match 5.
I would like to see
Which
us
would be
go
pretty
match
cool.
5.
Oh, hang on, we need to swap the sides, don't we? I think we do. There we go. Caught the overlay, folks. Caught the overlay. All right. That being said, let's take a look at what we got here. I am with, wow, and my brain just left. Darksea Corsairs here. Royal Star, of course, in the Firestarter, House in the Incubus, Heavy PPC Crusader for Zelk, Indian in the Laser Lanner. We've got ourselves a Jade Kite over here, Hag 40 enlarges, and an Atlas Kraken with 2 snubs, MRM 30 and an AC 20. What do we got over on KSG?
Well, they brought a lot of large pulse lasers. The Skull Mesh large pulse, the Atlas large pulse, the TDR having a Thunderbolt. Sorry, it is binaries though, so a lot of mid range here. Nothing standing out as really long range. The light pack are the same ones we've been seeing all day.
All right, we've got Darksea Corsairs now engaging in a push right now
Casterian,
into
oh no!
Casterian.
Oh, they're ignoring him.
Oh, they are. They're going after old Hasu in the Atlas. Yeah, smart move there. But only 4 large pulse on the Atlas. That seems a little undergunned. But it's under legged at the moment. So
out of the fight. They're holding on the edge of the fight, shooting into it.
Yeah.
The Atlas does finally go down. Casterian is chasing the Smith's Links around the corner.
Ivzovsky in the Executioner down to 1 or 2 touch leg. They could just shoot the right one. Looks like Jinto's trying to kick him to death. That didn't work. Resorted to lasers. Indian next up in the Lanner. It's a Lanner fight. Hollow gets Jinto. JB gets Primos. Casterian gets Indian. Casterian's still alive despite being a little caught out there.
This
But
would
it's
be the closest mech to the push at the start of it.
yeah.
He's still going,
Zelk
too.
down to legs. Yeah, Casterian still halved. Gwentler just unleashing with these binary
Casterian's
lasers
now
from this
being bullied.
Thunderbolt.
He's officially being bullied. He has no business still being alive at this point.
Yeah, it is about to be a 4v4 here. There we go. It's now a 4v4. Looks like Darkseid Corsairs probably has marginally the worst of it. House goes down. Yeah, Royal Star getting real close as well. I'm just trying to capture everything here. It looks like Royal Star is legged, probably. Hollow in the Kraken just kind of hanging out, waiting for Mokor and Dered to make a move.
That Thunderbolt is really laying into the Night Gear, and he laid into Kraken's back, and it looks like they managed to finish him off. But yeah, there goes Serponer too. But that Thunderbolt got back shots on both those mechs.
Oh, Gwendler's gonna have a real good match here, getting just dumping damage while that little brawl went on. That was a real fast match. What are we at? 2.5 minutes? That's wild. And that's not even like, it takes time for the mechs to boot up once that happens. Who was on there? Thunderbolt, 445 on that Thunderbolt in 2.5 minutes. That is nothing to sneeze at. Hollow with the Kraken coming in with 664. And that is going to be KSG taking another match. We're going to match 5, folks. This one is nice and close. Unless I've messed up. I've counted right? I think so.
It is 2-2, yeah.
All right, I'm just a little paranoid.
Took Crimson and this one.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. It's brawl versus brawl. Yeah. It just comes down to who has the better focus fire, who has better calls in the moment, and who maybe gets a mech committed too far, committed in the wrong place, getting stuck.
Can I point out how did Casterian live? They ran right by him. And then there at the end, he's still getting shot to heck and still waddled away, almost surviving.
I guess. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, was tucked behind that cover, and I don't think they necessarily saw. They were looking at that atlas, which was right in their faces.
Yeah.
It's great that we will have the next match. It was very exciting to watch the first kills of DSC, because what I was afraid of happened, and Casterian really went into brawl. However, this time the Casterian really managed to find the right angles on the enemy with his lights, and they show it like fire after Heavy is dead.
Yeah.
So what do you think about mining?
I think one more thing on Hibernal is, again, you can see that Kasern really does not like X-Pulses. And that's one thing, like right now, teams that play KSG in the future, take note. That is something I would look at exploiting, because X-Pulse are really strong right now. And things like taking the large X-Pulse Atlas and making it normal large pulse. It shows that KSG isn't aware of how strong they are, and that there's definitely something to be done there. But I think that's all I have about Hyperion. The rest was just skill.
Mining, right?
Yes. Last one is mining.
All right. This should be interesting. Do we see DSC hard push again? It worked well for the Polar. It started falling apart on that last ones, but yeah, I think they're going to push into it again.
I mean, looking at their answers, it doesn't look unlikely. Indian is a light mech pilot, and putting just a light and Bravo means you're stacked Alpha Charlie. So, but that might be like an Echo Fox 9 push.
Indian's been running a lot of Crusaders lately too, which doesn't necessarily negate what you're saying, but I don't know if we're going to see a light mech per se.
That is true. But he wasn't a lander last drop.
Now, one thing you did point out about the large pulse versus X pulse, right? Are the X pulses just overall better across the board?
There's certain times when you'd use large pulse, but realistically, large pulses at what they're better at than X pulses. So they are better than X pulses in certain things. But in those cases, they're usually outshadowed by something else again. So you wouldn't ever really take normal IS pulse lasers because either X pulses would be better or something else would be better. They're kind of like stuck in between two things.
Gotcha. All right, Team 1 has locked in those positions. Team 2 is now on the clock.
We can
Let's
take a look at those. I'm
mining.
headed over to lobby so folks can see what that distribution is real quick. Go ahead.
Can I say a few words about mining?
Say that
Do
again.
you have the time? Can I say a few words about mining? About Castellans and
Well, one thing we've seen a lot competition. When it comes to pushes, they've always been on the south side, at least the successful ones. The ones that people have been pushing up here haven't really gone well. A lot of times we'll see a push from Team 2 side gets like stuck in this corner. Or and from Team 1 side, they'll get stuck right here in this D4 area. Now, these the semifinals or the finals. We haven't seen that as much. We have seen teams get stuck over here, but I think that the south side of the map is where we're going to see most of the plays happening, especially around the Echo 4 maps here. But I do expect I expect KSG to put a couple traders in D3 though.
I think probably our traditional north-south split would be my prediction. Although if we see more brawl, like we did on Hibernal, yeah,
Or Alpha
yeah.
from DSC. That would mean brawl to me. You'd usually put for Charlie if you wanted to trade over for Alpha.
True. All right. Well, actually, let's see. Both teams now locked. So, wait.
Oh, exciting!
Let's get on to this this last match. Winner moves on. Loser takes the rest of the season off.
Takes the walk of shame.
At this point, I don't know if it's a walk of shame.
No, they get to strut their stuff. It's all right. Good.
But they don't get trophies.
Yeah, they don't get trophies. Until another team does it, I don't keep rubbing that in.
All right, let's see. Oh, there's a nice little asteroid out there. What is all of this? There's so much unused map. This is wild. Can't even see back here. I guess you could probably walk up this ramp. Showing you spots of the map where that you never saw before. All right, I am over here with Casterians. We've got ourselves a Night Gear hotel, a Gauss ER large, and a Hunchback with 4 ER large. Not our usual high alpha. Our Marauder with Hags and large. Exy with ER peeps, Crusader with heavy peeps, and then the red in the Viper. What do we got over here on Dark Sea Corsairs?
Enemy forces have Sigma. We got Zelk, ER PPC Summoner, ER Peep Executioner. Both have Laser Fist. Heavy Peep Crusader, also Laser Fist. Hag 40 Huntsman. Fire starters the same as we've seen before. 2 light peeps, 6 small lasers. already starting some trades.
Yep.
Miss Lakes is the SRM one. Phoenix Hawk is Snubs. And the Mad Cat is the one from, it's 2 Hack 20s and 4 ER larges this time instead of 2 Goss.
Yeah, I'm looking over the shoulder of Gwentler here, getting some. Ooh, we're using hags at extreme range. Which hags do you have, sir? And did they get the buff? Hag 30s. They got a recently. I think they got a little bit of a spread buff. But that's still a very long range to be using them and looking for shots here. Zelk and the Summoner taking a lot of shots from KSG. Just really kind of weakening that leg and spreading some damage in all over. KSG really just set up for the trade here with the red having Mokor with the lowest at 86%, which is not too shabby. Zelk just taking it though. In that Summoner.
If you look at the mini map, that problem we talked about, teams getting themselves stuck in that Sigma quadrant of the map. That's where KSG currently is. They really need to spread that firing line out, you know, to get more map control.
I'm not sure that they do. They are laying it out. We've got Hollow with an open leg, Zelk with a weak leg ready to go. And everyone else, I think their position right now is working out for them, but we'll see how the Dark Sea Corsairs respond, as it looks like we're about to get some movement, as Mokor looks like he's about to get jumped, but he's got lots of friends. I don't know if Dark Sea Corsairs sees them, but we're about to find out. House getting away relatively unscathed as they go, as they get their retribution on Casterian, knocking him down to 87. So Dark Sea Corsairs just now we're getting stuck in that Sigma position as Dark Sea Corsairs just pushes Casterian off of their positions. Casterian staying very mobile though.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're rotating away from the Brawl Push. Brawl Push is stalled a bit. You still have the Light Pack up the top. Well, Crusader, Executioner, and Phoenix Hawk up top. It looks like those three are heading towards the Night Gear.
I think Casterian looks a little roughed up on that. Open on a shoulder. Ivazovsky, the opposing Executioner. How are we looking over there? At 65%, but still yellow, so that's an open leg. Right now, Casterian's getting the worst of this fight right now. Again, they're stuck in that low ground for the most part, except for Dered. And what is this? All right, so we've got Gwentler trying his best to cover, but we've got Jinto and the Hunchback here pulling back, and now Ivazovsky caught in a crossfire, but probably going to take old Hasu out at the cost of that Executioner. So that's an interesting trade right there. There goes Ivazovsky's leg. They're going to take old Hasu first. Gwentler taking Ivazovsky. And we are 1-1. KSG with a couple of one touch, but they managed to take Zelk Summoner down. There goes Enova. Casterian should be next in the Executioner. As we get this fight going, Primo's going for the pick, but ending up needing to turn his back to Mocha, Red, and JB. Casterian going to hang on though. Absolutely going to hang on despite that wildly open CT. Primos looks a little worse for wear as Dark Sea Corsair sort of consolidates in the back end here. Now there goes Casterian finally. We've got Jinto and Gwentler. Well, actually, it's just Gwinto fighting House over here while Gwentler tries to cover the rest of the team. Jinto just trying to protect House. Pop-tarting, maybe? Just looking for Jinto. Primos takes out JB. Things are starting to turn against Casterian guards. Got Royal, Primos, and Poner consolidated over here against Mokor and Dered. Dered moving on. Looks like Mokor looking to flip Epsi here, keep those caps alive. We're coming up on 400. They're over half, so if they can keep that ticking and hold it off, it's a tall order with what we're seeing, but that's where it is. Gwentler finally turning against House here, but Poner coming up here and taking on Jinto. Gwentler now taking fire from two mechs, able to finish off House. Let's see if Royal Star is able to stay healthy. Open leg. Gwentler now down to 47%, losing some weapons. Primos moving on. All right, so heading on back here, we've got Red and Mokor. Mokor running, basically running interference, while Red goes and caps. Mokor getting some shots off on Primos here. Primos, I believe, has open legs. Gets a little stuck there and is legged. So that's good. We've got Indian and the Crusader here, with the two heavy peeps missing an arm worth of lasers, but still only legged. Gwentler finally goes down to Royal Star. Hollow moving very slow in the Mad Cat, also legged. So here we go again. It's the Red versus Royal Star, basically. I think Royal's leg is open, if I recall. Yep. So this is going to turn into a cap game, and KSG does have a rather significant lead. They're at 220 ticks and at 4 caps. That's
They're about
huge.
to lose 2 of the caps, though. Cap and Sigma are going to be flipped in the next few seconds.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Primos, though, on their way around the corner here. But yeah, you're right. It is going to be 2 on 3, but they're almost there. They are almost 100 ticks away, and they have a 3 cap right now. So Darksea Corsairs really needs to shut down Epsilon and Gamma. I think looking at it, it's probably going to be enough if they're able to hold Epsilon and Gamma. So we've got Red coming back here, just setting up in an ambush position. Mokor, I imagine, would be heading off to Gamma, but who's over here? Royal Star also headed to Gamma. Let's see how this one works out. We've got Royal Star with the open leg. Let's take a look at Mokor here.
That was smart of them. They kind of figured out which cap he was going to go to next, and then they went straight for it.
Yep, and Royal Star is legged now. And finished. All right, yeah, this definitely goes to Casterian unless something absolutely catastrophic happens here. I just don't think there's enough. Indian limping in here with the Crusader might get some shots on, but with the 2 cap, it's done. Like, we've got 20 seconds left in the match, give or take. And here we go. Mokor is going to try to take Indian out, who's at 35%. One touch leg there. Red gets Primo, so that is going to solidify both these caps. Hollow and Poner aren't even going to... Hang on.
Wow.
No, Poner might get to the cap, but...
Mokor just cleaning
but
up
it's
next?
not going to be nearly enough. Here comes the Red saying, no, that's my cap. I don't know you. And Poner getting legged. Is he going to go down? No, not enough time. KSG on caps to take this drop and this match. Well played, both teams. Well
Mining's law strikes again. It happens every single time. If you deep in knockouts and worlds, and it goes 2 to 3, the last drop is mining, and it's going to go to caps with mechs on both sides of life.
Wild. Epic Poner with 750 damage. Gwentler on that back wall with almost 1,000 with those hags. So once they got in range, just absolutely wreaking havoc. House in that Phoenix Hawks with 600 damage as well. This is a high scoring game overall. Mokor, Hollow, and Epic Poner, and Red, the survivors of that bloodbath.
I think we just saw Mokor, JB, and Red having all like 30 seconds to a minute of cap time.
Yeah.
Is that on the scoreboard as I missed it? It is not. That's okay.
I don't think it's on the API,
yeah,
but it is on the in-game scoreboard.
Can I speak?
Of course.
Okay, I have already talked about Casterian's problem with organizing interaction when his team is spread out across the map, and the enemy takes decisive action to push one of the flanks. We practiced fake push against Casterian in training, and even with us they had problem because he placed his mech very far on the wall and often missed pushes on sides, which he was not prepared for. This time he played much more more grouped and not so boldly. He did not have long range mech on the Epsilon cross. On the other side, the DSC actually used a fake push through the fourth line. I would like to note how the DSC dealt with the mech on the power plant, which used a position between the pipes, from which in a normal situation when it's covered from the wall, it's very difficult to put it out. I mean, with mechs that stay on and cover him from the wall of the map. As a result, this really provide answer to our Castrian calls and really uses Castrian's excessive flexibility against him, making decisive push with the brilliant action of Makor and the red goes the faster, won the game from them. I'm not sure which game that pilots is win for the Castrian. In any case, it's very cool. It was a very first game with constantly changing circumstances, and the outcome of the battle was not clear until the very end. It's really cool.
So I just rewatched a part of that brawl on Twitch, and I'm gonna, before I head out, because I don't have too much time, I'm gonna do... If Primos hadn't jumped DXC, I think DSC might have won that. Not getting the kill there and losing 27% in the process just really hurt them in the end game when they had a mislinks that was almost legged, instead of having one that could run around, maybe grab a cap, maybe take a duel. It could have saved the match.
Yeah, you might not be wrong about that. Now, with that said, oh, sorry about that. The PSG moves on, and
The top 4.
yeah,
And DSC finishes 5th.
good for them. That means Emmy and 5JDX are fighting for 6th and 3rd right now, right?
6 and the other spot in top 4.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that match gets to fight KSG.
Yeah. And then we move on. All right, we're getting set up for the next match here. Thank you, Ghosty. I know you got to run.
Right.
Yeah, thanks Ghosty and Aljuice for helping us. Aljuice, you sticking around for the next one?
I don't know really because well, it's 12 nights right now for me.
Oof.
Oh
Well,
yeah, it's late for you.
heck, thank you for
Well,
sticking around
if
as
you-
long as you did at the very least.
Yeah, if you have to take off, we appreciate your help.
Okay, guys, can I stay on one horse and after that going to gym? Because, well, I'm normally going to gym at night, so
Fair enough.
in
Yeah.
the one of
Do you wear sunglasses at night too?
no, but sorry guys if it will be cringy from my side because well, I still have some struggles with that.
Oh, you're fine. Anything else anyone got to say about this previous match? The next one,
Is right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, this one ran over. Shoot. Okay, hold
Yes. So we're moving right into the next one. As soon as I can get them in, we'll be going to the map ban. So hang tight, everybody. We're coming up with some more. As soon as I can get the ME guys in, we're gonna go ahead with the map selection, and we're just gonna launch right into it. No further ado. And then we will chat your ears off as soon as we get this going on. So hang tight, everybody. We're working on it. And another exciting match coming up here. It is going to be 5 GDX versus ME. All right, both teams are in. I'm going to send us over to the map room. Don't forget, you can check out Level's point of view on MWO Leagues too.
It is much less professional.
All right. Let me just gonna make sure I have both their attention, and we will start. So imminently we will see some action on the screen. All right. Starting the map selection process. All right, there we go.
I wonder if everything's going to hold true. Is Polar going to be in the first 3 maps again?
We will find out. Mokar, let me, Jesus.
Mining first.
Mining first, all right.
Well, I can see that. 5JDX picking mining first. That's a map they're very strong on.
That is true. Yes, with their aggressive wolf pack, there's an excellent first pick. Give them lots of options. Now that does give Mech Enjoyers choice of side on that one.
Second.
Oh yeah, we're going with the small maps here.
Oh, we saw that one coming.
Yeah, I think so. I think Emmy's sticking with the choose Vitric and use the rest of the advantage later. Given this, I would say Hibernal probably next.
Oh, Crimson.
Oh, Crimson. I was incorrect.
And my theory was wrong. I thought from here on out, Polar would be in the top 3.
It's last. There's Hibernal. Yeah, it is last. Neither team wanting that. Doesn't want it to cut. It's gonna if it comes down to caps on Polar, that's gonna be amazing. All right, let's see here.
That'd be a hell of a photo finish, wouldn't it?
Right.
So what do we got here?
Team 1 on mining for 5J. Kind of as expected. Vitric Station, we're staying put. In terms of site, what is happening? This is jumping all over the place for me. All right, there we go. So next up to choose is Crimson Straight, and this is up to ME. So this is going to be pretty telling what ME is going to want to do. I would think they would want team 2. You think so?
Maybe you're right.
I feel like ME is a team 2 kind of a team, but also I think 5J is going to be is a strong team 1 team. So it's going to be all right. Yeah,
I was thinking.
There it is, team 1 or team 2
so
for
we're not switching
Mechadroids.
Sides for the first 3 matches.
For the first 3, I like that. That's fine by me.
Yeah, it makes our job a little easier.
That's right. Let's see, and the 4th. All right, hey, they're making it easy for us. I like this, but yeah.
If they don't switch sides at all, couldn't they just told us, "Oh, we're just going to play their sides"?
There it is. No side swaps. Oh, they want to cruise. They're making up for lost times. All right.
Yeah, we are 13 minutes behind. All right. Map ban is done.
All right, I'm going to send you over to the map room. What's our first map again? It is Mining Collective. I don't even think, is that where we're sitting? No, because I moved it. Yeah, Mining Collective. We just, this should look a little familiar, right?
Yeah.
And sides are correct, I believe. Yes, sides correct.
No, 5GX is team 1 side, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, we'll see how they stack, but I expect them to start kind of normal. Maybe a couple traders here and then like over here and stuff.
Yep.
And then move into then react to ME. Now ME, we've seen him play both highly aggressive, and we've also seen them play the range game pretty well. So I'm not entirely certain what's going to happen here. To be quite honest.
Yeah, I think your initial distribution is correct. I think they're gonna keep an eye out and see where ME goes. ME really likes to use their wolf pack under their Overwatch, and they'll set up their Overwatch to do something about that. So honestly, expect they'll use yellow for Emmy, like they're
they'll start with like mechs
expect
here
them
and
here,
back here.
yeah. And honestly, expect the Wolfpack not to progress until that Overwatch is ready to deal with things, which makes them a little slower to react. I think 5J has the Wolfpack on this one over ME. If they're on top of their game today, I think it is going to be it's going to be a hard fight. Don't get me wrong, but I think on mining, I think 5J probably has a little bit of an advantage because they are tending to be a little more agile than ME. ME will send their whole team, but they have to wait for their heavies, versus 5J is a little more capable of getting in and getting out. And I think that's going to be the advantage on this map. You're going to see some Wolfpack skirmishes, maybe pick a mech, push things around.
Yeah.
And Emmy's just going to have to wait. That's the thing. Emmy's going to have to wait for their Overwatch. That tends to be what we've seen. Like you see on Hibernal, they are always under their Overwatch, which is great. They never take that fair fight, right? But the problem is it does slow them down their agility.
Now, Emmy does have Team 2 sites, so we probably should mention about how Team 2 people consider having an advantage due to open sight lines from spawn or right outside spawn to deny cap on Theta, and any light who stops here is going to lose a torso to whatever they play.
If they're
here.
lucky, if they don't lose a leg, yeah, absolutely.
So I kind of see they're going to Carbon's going to probably be in a big assault mech right here. That's what I'm betting.
Dare I say
He's going to
Corsair?
cover here. Yeah, probably like a Corsair. Does he still play the Annie much? Because I know he rocks that Corsair pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I've seen a lot of Corsair from Carbon here, but they are very capable in any other mech as well. So not too much to be gained from that intel, I don't think. Yeah, catching up on some of the chat.
Sneak apparently won a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's
that was
wasting it all now.
Naturally.
What a baller. He's so cool.
You could only wish to have so many spuds, Potato Pope. Anyway,
I know, right?
Yeah, I think this mining is ultimately going to be a pretty straightforward map here. It's going to come down to that focus on the Wolfpack. Although, the Overwatch also has its role to play and trade.
Yeah, for sure.
I would be absolutely shocked if we saw brawl on brawl.
Be fun,
but it would be so much fun.
Where's my Lerm Trebuchet, ME?
Yeah, on mining.
Are you a semifinals?
Are you a monster level? All right, both teams are locked. This banter has gone off the rails level. So we're gonna go ahead and just go launch this before you have time to say any other heresy.
Lerm Treb go whoosh.
All right, let's see. What other nooks and crannies can I find? This has become my new mission while we wait for the load in here. Oh, you know what? This is kind of a nice view. I don't think I've hit this one yet. Oh, hey.
What team was that that kept putting mechs up here on the satellite?
I don't remember. It happens quite often, but I think that is going to be a rare sight. All right, so I'm over here with Mech Enjoyers. We've got Call Me Gil in the Miss links. You dare to refuse my batchel in the Shadowcat Hydro. In that Viper, I want to see what this Viper and Phoenix Hawk build are. We've got machines and lasers, and I missed the Phoenix Hawk, probably something similar over here. Snubs on that Phoenix Hawk, a very good close-in build. We've got Unfearing in the Exi with large pulse, so we're going medium range on that. We've got a Marauder out over here, Carbon Fire, ER Large and Light Gauss, Direwolf in the Crusader, say that, and try to keep your head on straight with ER Peeps, and we've got ourselves a Highlander with Hags and SRMs and Large Pulse and an assortment of stuff. So it looks like Mech Enjoyers came for versatility and more of a medium range hold and trade.
We got a Weapon Master and a 6 SRM 6 catapult just kind of waddling up here towards center. Monk, Marauder 2C, Heavy Large, and ER Meads. Executioner, ER Peeps, Laser Fists, Summoner, SRM Summoner.
And they are getting aggressive with this. This is a 5J push, and we didn't even get all the builds, and they are already at it. Cougar coming out in the Viper and catching Unfearing Bucks and Direwolf, but Monk takes out Batchel. I didn't even see that happen. That happened so fast. Was that a headshot or something? That was so quick. No, CT from the back.
Back
Oof.
CT.
Django taking out Gil as 5J just is starting to roll over the Mech Enjoyers. The Mech Enjoyers mechs are being enjoyed by 5J's weapons here. Jiffy going down to 81%. Brower and Bacon all sorts of messed up here, going against Direwolf, hanging on top. With the Crusader, meanwhile, we got Villain and Unfearing hanging out on the outside of this, just trying to corral 5J's remaining mechs. Go ahead, Level.
I was just going to say, Direwolf just managed to pick Bacon. He's doing a decent enough job using his high ground to his advantage, but he's now getting double pop-carded by Cougar and Jiffy. He's guaranteed backshot from one side. I think he just lost his side torso.
He's halved, yep. And going up against Jiffy there.
Him here in a moment.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the rest of 5J, well, actually, Cougar and JP are just like, hey, let's help Jiffy out. And then we will go on Brower pushing with the Summoner into Unfearing in that Xe. Those SRMs just doing some work against Unfearing. Unfearing halved. Brower still hanging out. Almost one touch, gets away. Unfearing dies to heat. Weapon Master in that catapult pushes Villain off the top, and Hydrokai will pull him back.
Are they going to try to go for caps, or are they just trying to...
Oh, there's not enough time for caps. I mean, ultimately, I think they are going for caps, but it's going to be relatively futile. There's just so much of 5JDX. They managed to take out Bacon Lord. There's a lot of armor on the field, but let's take a look at Monk. Monk is basically fresh, some weak legs. Weapon Master is one-touch legs. Jiffy is fresh-ish. Some internal damage and some back damage. Dario in the Javelin is legged. Cougar, it looks like he's legged. So we got a bunch of legged mechs. So Emmy would have to pull this... would have to drag this out a whole lot, and they could probably pick a couple. They could pick Brower for certain, Weapon Master easy, and they are flipping these points quickly. But 5J is flipping Theta in response, so that's going to give them the 3 cap. They're going to catch up for a few seconds, and it is Jiffy and Dario on that. So while Dario is legged, those light PPCs got some range. Now let's take a look at Hydrokyle. Hydrokyle actually pretty fresh. Well, not fresh, but not terribly open. Villain here with an open leg and a missing arm. So Villain is pretty vulnerable. Hydro's going to run into Monk here, try to prevent a little bit of cap here, and just generally be cagey.
Hydro is one of those pilots that's very good with spreading damage on his mechs, like a lot of like the kind of stuff you see in the highest end of Div A.
Oh yeah, and Monk is open legs at this point. Hydro is like one touch CT, but he might know Jiffy's in. That's going to be problematic, and they end up tag teaming Hydro. They're going to take that point now. Let's go find Dario. No, not Dario. Villain here, making the end run around.
Sweep.
Almost. Hey, it's not over either. Like, we're looking at Django here, who is lying in wait. But this Phoenix Hawk with those snubs.
So we got some Jaws music to play,
right?
Oh, that's exactly.
I've got some Benny Hill, but I don't want any problems to happen here. So yeah, so we got 2 snubs and some smalls against this Crusader.
Oh, you're supposed to one-shot of Django.
Oh, that's a big one. You might be able to. Oh no, Villain's not getting a shot off. Or maybe just got a shot off there, but Django took too much, and that's going to be it. 5J for the win on that one. Very commanding. to begin. Well done, 5J. Almost had the 5 cap there. Ran out of time.
Man, I don't know if it was bad scouting or what, but Emmy was just not ready for that push.
No, and I think that is
Absolutely.
set them off. Just go run down and then I'll turn it over to you, Deuce. Monk in that Marauder pulling 712. Unfearing in that Exy with 506. Those are our two outstanding. 505 from Bacon Lord and that Kit Fox before going down. That's a significant amount of damage for the only one dead. And then Batchel in that Shadow Cat just got murked with that back shot, 32 damage. That's brutal.
I unfortunately wasn't watching when it happened. I just watched his body crumple to the ground.
Yeah, he might have been off screen.
It looks
I
like
missed
he was
it
trying
too.
to jump. It looked like he was trying to jump up on that ridge where the other pilot was.
Yeah.
And that's when someone saw the free shot, and then
Monk, not content with his 700 some odd damage, needs 38 team damage as well. Over the map room, go for it, Audios.
Guys, about this one, guys, I'm sorry because I can't formulate an adequate analysis right now due to the fact that the GGRs just broke my understanding on how the strategies works, because they literally went through the choke point in which they were shot from every corners, and at the same time they killed the enemy with minimal losses. Unfortunately, I can't describe it in any way other than the skill issue. In fact, the Jaguars team is a team that always plays their game with very high DPS and fast cavalry attack, beating the enemy mainly on tempo, and we are just literally solve this right now. Because it's a bad way to push. It's a choke point. Don't do that, please. But anyways, they won. It's cool. It's cool. I want to play like that.
All right, we're gonna move on to Vitric as these teams get ready, as usual. But with 5J bringing the brawl, you think they're done? Man, the smart play would be almost a receive, but given what I was talking about before with ME, sort of needing to wait on their Overwatch for a lot of things, I think 5J's best bet is again to just do an aggro push on this, either from the low ground or a hybrid push into ME. ME showing a little unpreparedness for the push, and also some late movement if you need to caps. But again, these are short maps, so caps are an iffy strategy to go on. But when Hydro and Villain peeled off, it was a little late to do that. So we'll see how it turns out. All right, team 2 starting the lock. What do you think, Deuce?
About Victor?
Yeah. What are we going? What are these teams going to do here?
I can't make prediction because it's 5GGX, and I think they just do what they always do. They push and they just kill the enemy by tempo. Because in fact, I wonder why the MWO just fall right now, because they were literally lined up for receive the push, and they just die. I don't understand that, and so I think that GX take a deck with assault with the hacks, some light setups with the machine guns, and just run through the enemy. That's how. Sorry, guys. I think that Mechanjers could take some decks in the Casterion style with the mech, with the five receiving mechs and some poke slides, but Let's just see. I don't know because no, I just it's about feelings. It's not about adequate reasons.
I agree. Both teams are good, so we're gonna go ahead and launch. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt there, Level.
Okay.
We will see. I want to see another 5JD push. That was actually quite lovely. What we saw just there. I want to see more of that.
I will say, SRM Summoner has been in a lot of the successful pushes we've seen this season.
It's
Nudge,
so many
wink,
missiles.
wink to the push teams out there.
Just gotta say that Hag Summoner up on top of Vitric that we saw in our last match, that was very fun. All right, I'm over here with Mech Enjoyers this time. I think I was last time as well, so maybe it's not so exciting. Villain in the Spider 5K, Carbon Fire in the Supernova Broiler. That's Hag 60 and some large pulse. We've got ourselves another large pulse, just a Brawl Highlander, the Exy with large pulse again, Dyer's Binary Crusader, Batchel again in the Shadow Cat. Build for Brawl, and then Hydro. What are we running on that? Yeah, our machine guns and heavy medium lasers. So interesting standoffish mech for Hydro. What are we looking at for
Jiffy, ER Peeps, AC5s in the night gear, Grolsch in a large laser ER meat, laser vomit stalker.
Oh no,
very
Cougar
classic.
alone here down below. That could prove problematic.
But Django's is ER Peeps. The Hatchet Man is Snubs. Also, did not think I'd see a Hatchet Man this season until we started seeing him occasionally peppered this Worlds.
Yep, I would agree. I would agree with that. Hatchman actually a pretty good brawl choice.
Ooh.
Let's see. How are we doing here? Yeah, so
his SRMs on the Executioner.
Yep.
Executioner shooting back.
Both teams taking the top. Some more than others. Looking at you, 5J. But we've got a drop down here. Cougar aggression. Getting jumped by Villain, Gil, Hydro, and Batchel. I think also Direwolf. He'll be fine, but that's down to 75%. That's significant. Meanwhile, the rest of the ME team has dropped. Carbon Fire down to 82%, Bucks down to 79%, as 5J just takes the top and is going to start using these angles. This is a bad spot to be in for ME. Yeah. Listen, you can shit on the movie all you want, but Direwolf
trying to get into cover, ate some major hits. Both his side torsos are really messed up. Unfearing also getting shot at from 3 directions.
Yeah, that's the problem. This is why, like, I cry when I'm in quick play and the team just decides to completely give up the top without any sort of plan otherwise. We got Cougar and we got Brower just laying into Bucks. Bucks can't even get back up top. Yeah, this is 5J is just gonna bully them from these positions. Emmy really needed to hold. There goes Carbon Fire to Monk.
Carbon goes down.
Monk's Direwolf. What's on this Direwolf again? Whew. Ag 60, heavy larges, and ER meads. Yeah, Emmy is just all sorts of messed up right now. Hydro down to 72% and super open red. What's going on there? That doesn't make sense.
I will say this for Emmy, they spread out. They're about to have a 5 cap.
Yep.
And you only need once you have a 5 cap, it only takes a couple minutes to get you 750.
So yeah, absolutely. And that is a good point. You're doing the right thing here. Unfearing just trying to hold on. 5J is gonna try to make him pay for it. Now Dyer opening up Bacon Lord. Bacon Lord now legged an open CT. I don't think Direwolf's going to make it out. There's so much fire going on here. Hydro trying to take on Bacon Lord. Dario picking Direwolf there and then getting into it with Call McGill. Jiffy.
Bucks, you were supposed to save Batchel. Yeah. He just ran right by the Phoenix Hawk that was chasing Batchel.
But he did get Jiffy though, and that is that's a big name off the field there.
They're obviously going for the cap game now. They keep the cap mix alive.
Absolutely. Batchel's gonna try to take Bowser CT here.
Browers.
Let's see, so much to watch. There goes Bucks.
Goes down.
Brower takes out Batchel.
I don't know how injured Brower is.
It's Cougar going down. That's another one, but there's enough 5J that they can turn this around. They've already got it down to a 3 cap, and they're continuing to work on it. Gil is
you gave your back to Dario.
Yeah, it's Mistling's fight here. 35 to 49. Gil might be able to pull this out. Let's take a look at where we are at. And Dario comes in. Yeah, Django comes in and says, "Not with my honor." And Django just continuing to tear through here. Going to move on to Unfearing. Hydrokyle's going to catch some from Grolsch and that Stalker.
Yeah, Grolsch is going to catch him off.
Yep.
That's if Monk doesn't get him first, actually.
Yeah, we'll see.
He got away from Monk, but there's no way he's getting away from Grolsch.
Yeah, there goes Unfearing down. And Django takes Hydro as well.
Django with the kill steal.
And it was, like you said, there wasn't much time, and 5J recognized that and just started moving and rolling. They had done enough damage. They were winning their trades. That's kind of what that comes down to. All right, let's take a look at our damage. There should be some interesting players. There were so many like little fights happening all over there. That was just top-down views. Django in that Crusader, 738. Very well.
Like I said, they got the 5 cap. They just needed to hold it for a couple minutes. But as you pointed out, they were already bled so much armor, and they're already down 2 mechs by then that was just becoming a near. It was becoming harder and harder to pull that off by every second that match went on.
Yep. And ultimately good scores around. I'm looking at Unfearing here at 600. I mean, we're looking at 300s and 200s across the boards for ME. They were putting out some damage. I'm just wondering if, well, actually, quite frankly, 5J just put out more. Also of note, there's enough JGX on that team that the in-game overlay called them the first Jaguar guards, and I find that amusing. So yeah, well done for 5J on that one. We're going to move on to the next. Actually, I'm going to kick you guys over to the map room. Is he still here with us? All right, maybe not. So go ahead. Oh, yeah. If you want to run through that, you are welcome to. We're moving on to Crimson straight next.
Without map, please, because I struggle with improvise. So it looks like the Endurance team simply refused to use a trade strategy with long range on something like that. The Jaguars have an ideal aim, and basically relied on using brawl decks and fast lights to avoid engaging the enemy at all. So Mechangers try to play a cap strat. At last, they want to reduce the advantage of the enemy accuracy by forcing him to come to close range. The problem is that in order to play well in the cap game, your individual skills as pilots, especially and lights, must be at very high level in order to win duels and maintain armor when being pursued by the enemy, and in this case the Jaguars really show an irresistible game. In any case, a good try from the Endurers, since they really forced the Jaguars to leave the center, but then they should have rushed into them. But at that moment they were already very beaten, and therefore they had no choice but to simply spread out across the map and hope that they can survive a little longer to get first points. That's what I think about that. As I said, the Jaguars just dominate the enemy with a really big DPS number, really good aim skills, and dominate the on map from up top. I think that's all.
Fair enough. It's gonna be late by the time it gets a 7.5 minute delay, but there is a giveaway going on in the chat. Hashtag push with a capital P. That's important. I don't know what's being given away, but it's something. Get in on that. Oh, never mind. They just drew the winners. I also think it doesn't say who the winners are or what the winners win. So hey, it's a mystery prize.
Farrah be with you, Dan the MacMan. Congratulations on your wins. I don't know what you won,
but you won it. And you should be happy about that.
Boys.
Hashtag job. Free stuff.
Also, hashtag rigged. It's always rigged, guys. Remember that. Every giveaway that's ever existed is rigged.
More rigging than a man of war. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we are looking at Crimson Straight here with ME on Team 2 side. That's the one they picked. So this will be yeah.
So what Ghosty said earlier today when the other teams were playing KSG and stuff, I really hope that that's kind of what ME is planning, kind of going this way, right? With a majority of their team. Because I am worried. If they're going to push either this way or this way, it has to be with basically everybody, right? But 5JDX has been proven to be more aggressive tonight, depending on where you live. So I don't know if what they'll do. It'll kind of probably depend on which lances they choose, but well, we do know they picked Team 2. I don't know. I still expect 5JDX to do something probably more aggressive. They could switch back to their traditional range cap and hold strats, being such a big map. But their aggressiveness has thrown ME for a loop today, and has them definitely on the back foot. So I guess it comes down to, are they going to keep their aggression up, right? Play big for Theta and stuff, and Island, kind of like what we saw KSG do to DSC, which trapped them basically right here after winning a massive fight over here. The exact what's going to happen isn't for sure, but right now ME has everything to lose. 5JGX has options. You know, they could, you know, even if it goes south for them, you know, they just dust off and they still got another drop to go. But for ME, whatever they pick is it's gotta work, and they have to all be on the same page. Because it does seem like 5JDX today has come to win, and ME is floundering just a smidge. Which sucks because I voted ME to win the whole competition.
Ooh, well, let's see. Let's see how this one's works. I'm gonna be both teams ready, so might as well launch and see if we end up with a sweep, or does ME get a little
do they get some breathing room and have a chance to come back?
Or do they come back and win the whole thing? That would be, you know, nice underdog story.
Yes. That would be amazing. That's what I'm hoping. Hashtag no bias.
Hashtag honey apparently in the chat. It looks like there's another giveaway. Hashtag honey to get in on that. Who knows?
Oh, great. The bot is part of the cult of honey now. It's over, people.
That's right. Skynet, that's under control of honey.
The cat, not the app.
That's right. That's right. Why not both? Why not both?
Yeah. Honey's going to get so big, it's going to buy out honey.
That's right. All right, let's see. Where are we at here? I am on the side with 5J. They're somewhere around me. There we go. All right, we've got Bacon Lord in the rival. All right, we've got ourselves a Locust 3S. With 4 SRMs and a Flamer. All right, Dario. All right, let's see what you do with that. All right, Brower with Snubs and Smalls on that Hatchetman. Snubs and Smalls on the Phoenix Hawk as well. Jiffy with Gauss and ER Large. Ranker, that's going to have a bunch of large. Let's see what Monk brought. Monk brought Gauss and Large. And we've got Cougar and a Firestar. Now, are we lasers or are we light peeps? We are light peeps. Excellent. So that is 5J's distribution. They're sending someone off to Theta. What do we got over here for ME?
Cap Spider, machine guns, medium X Pulse, Lanner, your traditional knife fighter, Hydrokyles, and what seems to be a Shadow Cat with ER heavy large, ER means, and heavy machine guns. Carbon Fire, ER larges, and Goss already. He's up in the H4 mountain taking trades.
Who's on Sigma? Full cap in that.
Don't know yet.
Okay. Darius and the Locust, meanwhile, coming in to take Theta, gonna run into Call Me Gil and the Spider. This will be interesting. SRMs versus that medium
that's
X-Pulse.
Unfearing and his ER Large Laser Stalker.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, here we go. Call McGill. This is interesting. So it's SRMs and a Flamer versus that X-Pulse. That's going to get toasty for Gil.
Look at this.
Everyone
5JDX
missing.
sent 5 mechs over here to Theta. They have 4
yeah,
just
just
waiting
about.
in the wing, waiting for ME to go for it.
ME also
Pushing it.
waiting. And pulling back, actually, and I'm not sure where they're going to end up. Dario pushing Gil off of his 7% to 10%. All that fire for a little bit of damage, but it was enough to pull Gil back. They're not going to deal with that. 5J is going to end up with the 3 cap, while ME is going to end up with the island, it looks like. Yeah, we're sending Hydrocol, Hydro. Yep.
It looks like ME originally had a plan to do a Theta, but that's not happening because they're now sending everything to Island. It looks like for a push,
which is a curious move, I think. We've got Mad Cat and the Black Lantern, and we've got Direwolf in the Hellfire, because that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know what Mad Cat's thinking here. This is going to be bad. Yeah. We've got some trade. Maybe he's just bait to try to pull them out, which would actually be a big brain play here, since ME takes the...
That would be. Oh, man, that would be.
Jiffy taking a good shot. Batchel down to 78% in that Arctic Wolf. Probably just chilling out, waiting for the brawl. Although that's an Arctic Wolf too. What is on that? I don't see that one too often.
In the Shadow Cat, he's starting to get shot at. He's trying to get forward too. It looks like, yeah, ME's trying to get all their lights forward, but they're getting tore up out here in the open.
I mean, a little bit, not all that much though. Mad Cat has been up here for a while in 84. I mean, Hydro took a hit, but 5J is just staying amid the buildings. They are not taking the bait here, so the mediums and lights are just going to try to get some little pot shots off. Maybe try to pull some 5J mechs into the open. But ME is just bleeding armor right now. Grolsch takes a big hit.
ME is being surrounded. Dario taking the back caps. Here soon, they're going to have a 5 cap on ME, and it will be game over for them. They have to make a play, and they have to make it soon.
Yeah, 5J.
They're not going to have enough armor. They might not have enough armor already to make a play, but.
So Monk is open over here on the right pretty substantially, so that could be a potential flank. But I'm looking at Hydrokyle taking a lot of hits here. Mad Cat also taking a bunch of hits. 5J just. They ended up in a ball, which is usually a bad sign, but they quickly moved out and started to take angles. ME has just been kind of hanging out in the same sort of, I don't know what you would necessarily call it, the same cone of fire that all of 5J can take a shots at, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. Monk still at 59%. Hydrokyle goes down. Yep, Mad Cat should be next. Grolsch getting some really good burns going on there. I'm gonna scoot over to the island, see what we're looking at here. We've got Batchel in this Arctic Wolf 2 with ER large. Lost an arm, no big deal, but open side. Unfearing and the Stalker probably halved at this point. No, but super one touch. Carbon Fire, Bucks,
Mad Cat
both
got
open.
surrounded.
There we go.
Got picked.
Mad Cat gets picked there, and now 5J just has their firing line against the island, and they are trading very well. Call me Gil goes down in the Spider.
Monk is one touch. Monk's actually one touch. Cherry Red CT, just a scratch.
Yeah, and here
that's a lot of firepower because he still has all his guns, and he's gotten quite a bit of shots off.
Oh yeah, there he goes. Finally goes down.
Finally goes.
But in the meantime, 5J is just pushing the island. Brower takes down Batchel. Jiffy takes down Carbon. Unfearing probably next. Basically having open torsos everywhere. Bucks not looking so hot either. Open CT ready to go. Direwolf takes out Brower though. Sit down. And there goes the next two. Direwolf takes out Grolsch. Direwolf just cleaning up here. Is it going to be enough? I mean, it's not. There's way too much armor on the board. But he's giving Cougar to run for the money, and JP Django coming in behind, getting in those back shots. Bacon getting the final shot on that CT, and that's going to be a 5 JDX sweep against ME. 1, 2, 3, and they are down. Very decisive in all 3 matches. It's that ME aggression. They were on their game today. They did not let ME move around as they need to. and just punish them for it. Looking at damage scores, 894 damage for Monk.
Yeah, that direwolf needed shut down.
Yeah,
So long ago.
absolutely. And again, we see just more damage on the point of 5J. We've got 3 double Ds. On the ME side, we've got Gil, Hydro, and Mad Cat there just being stuck up there out of range for everything. And when they got in close, they, ultimately ended up getting picked. I think that's ultimately our story there.
Yeah.
I forgot to put the thing for details. Give me just a second. There we go.
So they did that initial play for Theta. They committed so much to that, right? From the start of the game. I don't know. Maybe All Deuce or any of the other experts can chime in at some point.
Okay.
And let me know, should they have, I don't know, instead of moving all their lights across that open water to get, smacked around, getting back to island, would it have been better to full commit to that, to the light fight?
I think, no. I think they must push to the town where the Jaguar's main forces is been. It's cool that the enjoyers decided not to take this bite and decide to use a strategy of fake pushing into the saddle and after that pushing across the island. But the lights must going directly to the assault position. I will say that they took a good deck, mechangers, with mechs that can shoot well from behind horizon covers, such as the Stalker and Corsair. They haven't been many direct pushes on this map lately. Everything is often decided behind the island, and it was nice to see classic pressure from the enjoyers. However, the strategy shows its vulnerability, because good teams usually send lights to the cap points, which turns the game into a competition for the attackers with the timer. In addition, in this situation, it looks like the enjoyers distracted lights into a duel with the Dire, which further reduced their chances of winning this push. Not to mention the fact that the light simply could not win that light simply could not win the duel against Dire. Now it was classic Crimson on both sides, and in the end it came down to the usual gaps in the skill rather than the strong tactics, I think. Guys, excuse me, gentlemen, so I have to go. It's already 1 o'clock in the morning. My plan is to go to the gym and then go to bed. Thank you. That's all. Sorry, guys. I have to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your insights.
Hell yeah. Glad to have you on all the time. And actually that's what we've got for you. So 5JDX and Casterian's guards Casterian guard won the last one, right? Oh man, my brain is a sieve right now.
Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Winning? Oh god, Honey is not natural. She got all of this week's predictions correct. She got 80% accurate last week. This isn't right.
Let me see.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure to broadcast with you today. Goodbye, I think.
Hey, it was our pleasure too, bud. You take care.
Absolutely. All right. So, yes, Casterian guards, my brain fart now being over. Casterian guards, 5J, are moving on to fight each other next week in another fight to stay in the league,
KSG
and then also
fights 5J next week?
And then we've got EQ versus Avens, and then we are on to the finals. So the winners of the next game of next week are going to move on to the finals, where if the losers brackets win, then we get like a double grand final round. So there's 3 or 4 matches left
You know, I just realized something.
Or
We
4
do
or 5
like 8
rather.
week during CS 23. We have what, like almost 10 weeks straight of casted matches, plus the invitationals. It's what, 12 weeks?
Oh yeah,
Castings?
it's been a long tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Make sure to tip your waiters, boys.
buy a tournament supporter pack.
Yes.
If you don't, it's a skill issue. I can say that because that's my voice.
Oh, it's almost at 25 grand, dude.
Yeah, no,
See
we're
it
getting
last?
close to goal. That's very exciting.
Yeah. If you haven't bought it yet, you get some of the greatest war hordes ever released in this game. You get all kinds of goodies. Yeah, for sure.
I think there's 2 mechs in there as well.
Yeah.
It's great. Plus
even the lowest
Sibo
pack,
bumps.
which I think is $10.
Yeah. Plus the Sibo bump till like June. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's months and months and months of Sibo boost. Totally worth it. If you haven't already, get it. It's probably the best deal in mech online if you're going to drop real money. But yeah, so looking forward to next week, where we see who go into the finals. Wait, is that next week? There's 2 weeks. In any case, it's coming up, guys. Sorry, we're all exhausted here. Thanks all for sticking with us. I'm just gonna we'll end it here. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, Level. Thank you, Ghosty, and